Hey everyone, welcome back to Paint It. I'm Maury Curtis Dunbar. It is Wednesday. It's our second live of the day because we did Tuesday's live an hour ago because Tuesday was a crazy day. So today is Work It Out Wednesday. And when I do a Work It Out Wednesday, I'm solving a problem. For me, when we did the finish on Saturday, our sexy Saturday finish, the idea was great, but the dry wasn't. The contrast is too high. The blends are non-existent. Well, that's what happens. Hey, Manetta, if you're not happy with your finish, I mean, I wouldn't, the idea was great, but the execution was not good. So now if I was going to present this to a client, my next job is to figure out what to do. So the first thing I'm going to do, I happen to have a leftover sample board from when we started this. You all saw me trowel on the black diamond luster stone to get this. Excuse me, I have a little piece of fuzz in my mouth. Blah. So we're going to go, basically we're going to do the same thing, only we're going to adjust our pattern. So first thing we're going to do is take our Artsyville gel medium and scoop some into a couple cups. Maybe not walk on my mask. All right, let me open this up. You're going to see a lot of my back. If you kind of look at the table here, I have got so much going on that I'm kind of running out of room to do things. So I'm going to have to kind of put my back to a few times. So please forgive me for it. I'm going to take a little more gel medium than I did last time because I was I thought I had enough and I was close, but really what I needed was more of the red and less of the gold, and I made equal amounts of each, so that's where I fell into the problem. Now, I gotta seal these lids back on the can. I'm scooping into plastic cups and I'm moving this out of the way. Now I gotta remember where I put my pigments because I have been moving things around nonstop. Here they are. All right, so we're gonna use, and I keep these in a jar like this with the lids down because then the label's on the bottom. So the first thing I'm gonna do is find our Love Struck, which is the red color that we used. And these pigments don't look pretty always in the jar. This doesn't look like a whole lot of anything. However, once it mixes into our base color, or our base material, which in this case is our Artsyville gel medium. And I'm being generous, I'm probably putting about half a teaspoon or so in here. I'm gonna set it aside, and I'm gonna angle you guys down because I gotta sit down a little bit. So there's my stool. You know, you can see me sit and stir. Welcome, children, to Miss Maury's Story Hour. I'm sorry. I feel when I sit down like this on a camera and you're just watching me stir, I feel like I should be telling stories, reading fairy tales. You know, it's like it's story time in the classroom. All right, now when you do pigments like this, you mix them in and the color's gorgeous, but then you need to set them aside for a few minutes and let the pigments bloom. Meaning that these pigments are dry. They go into moisture, but this isn't just liquid, so it's not going to dissolve like that. I'm sorry, right-handed, it's not going to dissolve like that. It's going to take a few minutes and for the moisture to absorb from the gel medium into some of the larger pigment pieces. So if you look at this now, you can see little dark specks in there. Oh, David, thank you. Yeah, I'm famous now from being on the news for talking about CVS and COVID testing. Yes, I am. I am a movie star now. Thank God I don't believe my own hype. So what I was saying is the pigments have to bloom, they absorb the moisture, and they start expanding or blooming. And we leave this alone for a few minutes, it'll come back, it'll need to bloom a little more. I'm going to get our other container and our other color. All right, so this is our other container, and last time I mixed it, I did kind of an odd combination of stuff, and I think I got too much pigment in it, which was part of the problem, is that the red color was translucent. I got too much color in the yellowy gold thing, and it was way more opaque. So it absolutely outshone the red because the red was translucent and the gold color I mixed was opaque. So what I'm mixing in here now is a little bit of ginger peach and a little bit of sunflower. It'll get me a nice goldeny yellow, which will, in the long run, translate into a gold color with the red, which is going to be just gorgeous. And actually, I might even put a little more of the ginger peach in here, although I don't really want to. This is actually coming out to the right color, and I don't want to make it darker than or more pigment heavy than I already did the first time around. So again, I get this color, and it's kind of yellow. It will not dry that way. It will dry translucent and metallic. So I've got that all mixed up. I'm going to set that aside because that's our second color going in. Yeah, maybe it would be smart if I put the lid back on the jar of pigments, because you all know me. I will spill it. And I will spill it not just a little bit. I will send it flying across the room. And I'm really trying not to do that sort of thing anymore. It doesn't help me. All right, so we've got our pigments mixed up. Our board's on the easel. I'm going to stand up again. Hey, I'm sorry, I gotta get closer to read things. Carmelina, that's such a pretty name. Tilt the camera down. I'm not on the work surface yet. I was just mixing pigment. So we're about to go on to our surface, which is right here. Okay, so if you remember last time, took a little tape. Again, this is from our Sexy Saturday finish. This is Black Diamond Luster Stone over black set coat. We rolled on the first layer, let it dry. We tightly troweled back the second layer of the luster stone for a very smooth finish. And then when we did this on Saturday, we took our lace, and this is literally the same piece of lace. I just washed it out. Did you miss the picture of the project before? Yes, Desiree, you did, so I'll hold it up for a second. But let me put this lace up here, because this is, all I'm doing is tacking this to the surface. This is not going to be what holds it on here, but it's going to hold it up here long enough for me to get to the next step. All right, so let me pull that other board wherever I threw it. Hang on a sec. So Desiree can see. Desiree, this is how it dried. I wasn't happy. It's too blotchy, it's too defined. It looks a little like something exploded on a gold wall. So we're redoing it, and that's what Work It Out Wednesdays are about, is taking a problem that I have had, or if you submit one to me, I might be able to work one of yours out. And I come back and we redo for a more successful result. All right, so I've got my trowel, and I have got my gel medium mixed up. It has now sat here for a few minutes. Most of the pigments are bloomed. We're in good shape. So the first thing I'm gonna do is load my trowel. Okay, I know not everybody's familiar with troweling. If you're not comfortable with troweling, this is not going to be the finish for you, but it'll be a fun one to practice on. All right, so when you trowel, you don't put your trowel flat to the board, because the trowel will stick there and you'll get nasty streaks. When you're moving product with your trowel, you want between a 15 and a 30-degree angle, and you're only putting your product on the edge that's going to touch the surface. You don't put it in the middle, you don't dab it in the top, you don't put it in the bottom, you put it right here on the edge. If you're, oh, thank you, Desiree, I appreciate it. All right, so we're going to go and put this product on, and like I said, it's in the middle on the edge. I'm going to take it, I'm going to smear it right there because I'm going to move it. I'm going to trowel it 100%. And that's really, I think this time I figured out what the problem was, and I patched in the colors separately, and really what I needed to do was 100% coverage with the red, and then work some of the gold in. Now, if you want this a more gold finish than red, then you started out gold and you patch the red in a little bit. And this is lace, very inexpensive, stiff lace, gotten from, I think this one might have come from Hancock Fabrics when it was still open, but you can get them at Joann Fabrics. I mean, they have tons and tons of lace there. Now these trowels I do not carry. You can purchase them from Jennifer Ferguson at Artistic Painting Studio. She carries them. And until I find a source, she is the person I recommend. And she is very good with her customer service as well. So if you like this trowel, which I do because it's super light, and this is called a Japanese trowel because it's made in Japan. They're lighter, they're more flexible, they're very user-friendly. The handle is bamboo, so it's light on the hand and it's a comfortable grip. I've worked with lots of other trowels over the years. And you see I just pulled that tape off. This is actually adhering now to my surface by the tension created between the product and the fabric. All right, and expect that if you're going to do this on a wall or a large surface, you might have to do this in panels because fabrics have limited widths, so that you actually have to plan it. That's a little chunk of crud right there. There we go. You have to plan your finish to meet the fabric. And if you're doing this with a wall, trust me, on a wall, you want a friend to help you. If you're doing this on furniture, you can do it by yourself. Because I've done both, and I know the pitfalls and the benefits of both. Right, so I've taken all my tape off because now it's well adhered temporarily to the surface. And really all I'm doing is filling in the openings of the lace. With this, I don't worry about smears or bleeds because it's all part of the finish, so if it smears a little, it actually just looks like background. It's completely fine. All right. And if I miss your questions because my back is to the camera while I'm troweling stuff on, don't worry, I go back, I answer everything. I'll have it, even if I answer it verbally anyway, I go back and put it in writing because I know it helps other people to find the answers. All right, so I've completely coated that 100%. Now I'm going to take this, our golden mixture, stir it up just a little bit because those pigments bloomed while I was working with this, the red. There's a little bit sitting on the bottom. All right, and I'm not really even going to do much of anything other than taking a paper towel and wiping the excess red off of here. Again, when you're doing this sort of thing on a job, on a bigger wall or on a larger surface, keep a damp towel around to keep the edge of your trowel clean, because once this stuff starts drying up on the edge, you get very, very nasty streak marks. So you want to make sure to keep your trowel clean. All right, so I'm taking a little bit of the golden yellow. And you can see I'm sort of dotting it on, dabbing it on, smooshing it around, and much more blended. I want the gold to be, this gold and a yellow color to be more of a hint than a big, heavy presence. So Sorry, forgot to turn off my notifications and a phone call came through. So I'm still really subtle here. I need to get a little more pop in my colors. But I want to get my subtle colors done too. And you can see I'm just moving my trowel around in all different directions, sort of jig-jogging around just to move product. And then I'm going to come back with a little bit of the red just so that it doesn't become too tequila sunrise color. I want to make sure that there's some good clear red spots. And just a little more yellow, I think. Okay, and this will dry more subtly colored because I was less pigment heavy and it all came out. All right. So now when you take this off the wall or off your furniture, you don't pull it from the bottom up. You take it from the top down because then it will not flop back and ruin your pattern. I'm going to throw this in the sink. All right, so now I'm going to zoom in here. All right, so you can see that the coloration, the lace pattern came out really nicely, but the coloration is more subtle, which is exactly what I was going for the first time. Just subtle bits of gold in that red instead of, where'd I put this? Hi there.
Hi, it's dropping off some mail. Please.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, they're going to close off the streets on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Hang on a second, everybody. I just had a police officer walk in. Sorry, folks. I'm on a live on Facebook, so I'm just letting everybody know.
Yeah,
All right, so we're good for shutting down the streets on Friday?
Right, yeah,
Awesome.
there's a notice right here for that. Okay?
Awesome, thank you.
No problem.
Okay. Sorry about that. We are actually still open. All right. Let me zoom back out. If it'll do that, get the notification off. There we go. All right. Sorry about that, everybody. They're closing off our streets for the restaurants over the weekend, and this is the first weekend doing it, and the police officer was coming by to notify me about the details. Okay, so I think we're done with this one. We're gonna let it dry. I will post a picture of it tomorrow, and you can compare it to the other one, which I threw over here. Okay, so here's the difference. This, not what I wanted. This, exactly what I wanted. Much more subtle. I thought I was gonna have this dry nice and translucent, like all this red, and this part, no, a little too intense. So, now, if you don't like, get my face in here so that you can actually see me instead of talking to my nose. If you don't like how this dries, if this is too subtle for you, add more color. You cannot put the lace back up and add more color. You'll never get it to lay right. So make sure before you pull the lace off, you are at the coloration you wanted. I was more hopeful for the one I started on Saturday. I think this is going to be my sexy finish. I think that's going to be stunning. All right, everybody, it is late here. I still have more work to do. I am very excited to be continuing on with our scheduled lives this week. We have, tomorrow is Thrifty Thursday. Friday is Free Finish Friday. Saturday is Sexy Saturday. But I'm going to remind you all, go back to last Friday's Free Finish Friday video. Share it. Last I looked, we were at 18 or 19 shares. We need to get to 25 for the contest to go. So you need to go back to that video, share it, then come back to the video and post that you shared it. That way I know you did it. And we do check to see who shared. So please make sure that you share the love and then come back and let us know that you sprinkled it. And I'm using the nasty S word right now because everybody doesn't understand what I mean by sprinkled. So this video may have a lower reach because I'm using the nasty S word that Facebook doesn't like. Regardless, use it, go back, sprinkle the video, let me know that you sprinkled it, because every time you sprinkle it is an entry into the contest. The contest prize is a 10-ounce jar of texture medium, a 10-ounce jar of metallic paste, and a orange stamping roller, whichever one you want out of what we have in stock. All right, everybody, this Friday, when I do Free Finish Friday, you have until the end of Free Finish Friday for me to go back, take a look, and see how many sprinkles we have. I will announce the winner after the next Free Finish Friday video. All right? I hope that makes sense. I don't know. I'm kind of babbling. Regardless, enjoy this video, share the love, sprinkle the videos. Love having you here. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.